Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope all is well. I'm making this video to speak with you guys about some of the things that I've been struggling with. I know it's been a while since I made a video. It's been a while since I made a video, and I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the struggles that I've been dealing with. Since I started this journey. I am actually, when I was a lot bigger, I had a goal. I was like, oh, I want to be 250 because I was 364 pounds. So I'm like, okay, 250. When I get there, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be looking fine as wine. Like, I'm going to be so fine, right? And when I did get there, I didn't even recognize it. Like, I just saw the same fat person, and that's one of the things I struggle with, as far as not seeing myself as what I look like. Now that I've gained weight, and I look at old pictures and I was like, wow, I look small. But when I was there and when I was in the moment, I didn't see it. Other people was like, oh, you're getting so small, like, oh, this and that, oh, how you doing, you're losing so much weight. And I'm like, what? I'm still not even where I want to be, like, at all. Like, I'm not there. But looking back on pictures and things like that, I was like, oh, I was really small, like, but in my eyes, like, I was still that 365 pounds. But even when I was 365 pounds, like, I didn't see it. Like, I knew I was big. You know what I mean? I had always been big. It was normal to me. So the one thing that made me like really realize like how big I truly was the scale. I got on the scale and I was like, oh my God. Like, I remember just busting into tears, like crying, like that ugly cry that I remember doing that. And it was just like, my mom was there and she's like, what's going on? What's wrong? Are you okay? And I was just like, I'm so fat. I'm so fat. Oh my God. And then I decided, that's when I decided, then and there, I was like, okay, it's done. Gotta go. Gotta get it started. And nobody ever said, like, once you get started, like, it can become an obsession. At least for me, it did. Like, I was counting calories. And so I was obsessed. Like, I would skip meals just to make sure that I tracked it. I felt like I was trying to push myself too hard. You know what I mean? And when you put yourself in a situation where you're doing things that's so far out of your zone, so far different, like you're completely, like, a weight loss journey is a change of a lifestyle. You know what I mean? You got to change your whole life in order to obtain and maintain, the weight and things that you're doing. But when you go so far left to where you're just completely excluding everything, you're telling yourself you can't have nothing, like, just you're bound to fall off. So that's exactly what happened. Once I really like sit down, was like, you're doing too much, you're being extra, like you're going whole days with like out eating and things like that. And that's before, like, I was doing like intermittent fasting, but I was doing the 16/8. Is before I started like the OMAD and things like that. So my experiences with like OMAD and things like that, I hadn't really read about it. I hadn't like really informed myself of, what OMAD was, what the warrior diet was, all these different forms of fasting. I wasn't aware of it, but I knew, 16/8, I can do that, just skip my breakfast. I wasn't really a breakfast eater anyway. And I didn't realize, like, when I was in high school and things like that, like, that's what I was doing. I remember when I was younger, I used to like be like, no, I'm still fine. Like, I mean, I've never had like low self-esteem to where I was like, I'm not cute, I'm fat, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I've never been that girl. I was always like, oh, we going to party? Ah, hey. You know what I mean? Like, I was like super excited about the turn up, super excited about whatever club we was going to that weekend. And I was doing it all the time. And like, always out hanging out with friends and whatever and talking to this guy and that guy. I mean, because I never felt like, oh, I'm too big. I can't go talk to this person. I'm too, whatever. Like, I always was just like, okay, I'm down for the ride. Let's go. Let's party, whatever. Hey, you cute. How you doing? You know what I mean? I was always that type of person to where I was like, I never had those experiences where I felt like, oh, I gotta be reclusive. Like, I can't be, um, the center of attention. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get that guy because of whatever, because I'm too big. I can't do that, whatever. Like, I never was told myself like, oh, you can't do something because of my size. And then I never knew, like, once you start, a weight loss journey, or you lose a big amount of weight, you know what I mean? Like, how that could change and shift, you know what I mean? When I was 365 pounds, I thought I was the finest thing since sliced bread. Like, I was like, oh girl, you winning, you with this, I just felt like I was it, you know what I mean? But like, as I started losing weight, as I started, you know, especially when I got down to like, when I was from 360 then to 300, then from 300 to like to 60, and then I was like, okay, I'm down 100 pounds. Once I got down to 100 pounds, I started picking myself apart. You know what I mean? You're down 100 pounds, but you still look like this. You're down 100 pounds, but you whatever, whatever. Oh my God, look at your arms. Like, you have so much loose skin. Like, ew, like, what? Why? Why is it like that? Like, I really started picking myself apart. Like, people was like, oh, you look so good. But I'm like, you don't see me without my clothes. Like, I don't look good. Like, whatever. Like, that's just how I was feeling. I was just like, okay, thank you. You know what I mean? But like, me personally, like, I was picking myself apart, and I'm like, how am I more confident as a 365 pound person versus 100 pounds lighter? You know what I mean? Like, I lost 100 pounds. I should be proud of that. I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't see the 100 pounds. The scale told me I lost 100 pounds. Me looking at myself in the mirror and looking at myself every day, I didn't feel that. I didn't see that. I didn't, like, nothing changed for me. In my eyes, nothing changed. And then it felt like in my eyes, I looked worse. You know what I mean? In my eyes, I saw every flaw that ever existed. Like, every single flaw in my body that I may have had when I was 365 pounds. Now for sure I see it. For sure I see it. I'm like, dang, like, why is that like that? And why is that like that? And like, this right here has always been like a big thing for me. And it's like, it was big, but everything was big. You know what I mean? Like, this was always big, but everything was big. And then when I lost weight, it was like the collarbones was sticking out, but then I have this on my neck. And it just drove me crazy. And I'm like, why is it there? Like, what is it? Like, I don't like it, blah, blah, blah. Went to the doctor. I'm like, is it my thyroid? Like, is that why, it's so big right there? And they're like, your thyroid is fine. Like, you're fine. I'm like, why is it there then? Like, why does it look like that? You know what I mean? Like, it was a big thing for me. Like, and like my mom would be like, nobody even noticed that. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody cares about none of that. But I did. I cared. I saw it. Like, I was tripping out about it. You know what I mean? And then my arms are big. My arms were really, really big. So now that I'm smaller, the skin on my arms is like a lot. Like, my arms are still big, but they hang. Instead of it being full, it's like layers of like skin in it. You know what I mean? And it drives me up the wall. Like, it's so annoying and it's so irritating. And those are the things like I didn't expect. Like, I thought when I got down to a certain way, like when I got to like 250, I was like, I'm gonna be serving everybody life. You know what I mean? Not I'm gonna be picking myself apart and more insecure than I was at a 365-pound person. You know what I mean? So that's some of the things I'm still dealing with. Like, I still, like, every day I see, the same flaws, you know what I mean? But I'm like, they're there. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's okay. You know what I mean? When I get to where I want to go, I'm going to get surgery. I'm going to get surgery. I'm going to just go ahead and get the skin just taken off because I know, like, everything, my thighs, my legs, my calves, my stomach, those things, I don't see like a lot of skin. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see like a lot of skin like everywhere. Like, from 100 pounds, from how big I was to how big I am now, like, it's like I don't see the skin that my arms has. Like, my arms, like, you can tell I lost 100 pounds, but the rest of my body, you can't tell I lost 100 pounds. So if you're looking at me, you're not like, oh, she lost weight. You still see a big girl, but you can't tell like I lost, 200. I mean, sorry. You can't tell I lost 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Because it's all still together. It's all still pretty like tight together versus my arms. If you look at my arms and I'll just wave at you, it's like a whole chicken goblet. Like, it's like turkey goblet. Like, it's waving back. Like, my arm skin's waving back too. Like, it's a thing, but I'm just like, I'm dealing with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's something I have to deal with, and I know that I'm gonna be stronger for it. Like, it's still a struggle, like, every day, dealing with like your confidence, especially like when you decide you want to be in a relationship, you want to talk to someone, you know what I mean? You putting yourself out there in that way. And then it's like, okay, I got all this skin. Like, what if we decide we want to, be intimate in some type of way? Like, do I want him to see my skin just jiggling on my arms? But I'm very grateful that it is like kind of limited to my arms. Everything else still is pretty tight, which I'm so grateful for. Um, I don't know. This was just my rant, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you felt any of these things on your journey, comment at the bottom and let me know if I'm not alone.